Well, I think what we're seeing quite clearly is that Merkel's main goal from the G7 summit was to try and talk Donald Trump round to keeping the United States in the Paris Climate Agreement. But she's also been quite disturbed at his continued attacks on Germany for its super trade exports to America. And she's also been very invigorated, actually, on the European front by the election of Emmanuel Macron. So what we're seeing, what we're going to see, I think, is Angela Merkel is probably going to get re-elected in the German elections this September. And so in her, perhaps her final term, and in Macron's first term, we will see a real push for the European Union to make big strides on defence, for example, which Britain was always a bit of a brake on the European Union having a common defence policy. And the United States, of course, has been increasingly reluctant, it seems, to fund the NATO and to contribute to European defence. So what it means for Britain and the United States is really the reality of the situation, that they are distancing themselves from the European project, which Merkel now wants to take on to the next level.
And of course, Merkel continues to set the tone in the European Union. Are other member states likely to follow her lead on this issue?
I think we will see a coming together, as I say, around perhaps the issue of defence, where a lot of them can agree that to make progress on a common procurement of weapons and technology for Europe's defence, but also common missions for the European Union countries in defence, will draw in France. France will be the only nuclear weapon power left in the European Union when Britain goes, so it's absolutely fundamental to European defence. But I think other nations will want to join in that programme if possible, and it's easier for some nations which aren't perhaps members of NATO to be a little bit more involved in EU defence, and if that is going to become more of a force alongside NATO.